Sat Sri Akal, everyone. I would like to request leave to your permission to revisit the topic that we spoke about last week. Last Saturday, I posted a video. Put those pictures back. Something very interesting happened after. So please give me the permission to share that with all of you all. I don't want to make a meal out of something, but it's something very interesting that will help us, will illustrate certain things. It's just an incident that I want to relate to you. So this was posted on Saturday evening. The Sunday morning, my wife goes off to Gurdwara Titi Wangsa Sahib for the Asadiwar. So 6 o'clock in the morning, Asadiwar starts. So she is there, and when she gets there, there is this little boy, which she said, she actually didn't tell me this immediately after the event. She told this to me 2 or 3 days later. It was probably Tuesday or Wednesday already when we talked about it. When she's, over dinner, she just mentioned it. And I could have explored it further with her, but anyway, let me tell you what happened. So there was this young child. She said he couldn't have been 1 day older than age 6. He would be about 6 years old. And she said he was doing chore seva. So, very interesting. 6-year-old child at Asadiwar on Sunday morning when all kids and adults, including me, are fast asleep. And there's this little child doing chore seva at the Asadiwar program at Gurdwara Titi Wangsa. And later on she finds out he came with his family, obviously. Later on, when he was replaced, normally people take turns to do the chore seva. When he was replaced, she saw him walking off from the tabya with a book in his hand. It looked like an exercise book, type of book. And then she noticed that throughout the program, until the end of the program, Ardas, Hukamnama, Guru Ka Langar, he is carrying this book around. And the principal in her made her go up to this child and ask him, what is in this book? What is in this book? And she said, I was very surprised. Where he was sitting, he took out his book very proudly. And he opened to the first page. Said, this is a picture of Guru Nanak. Then he turned the pages. This is Guru Gobind Singh. And he went through, he had drawn, it was basically an art book. It was a little art book, children's art book. And he had drawn all this, and it was sacred for him. He carried it everywhere he went. And he showed Sahibzade and whatever else you can think of, Khande, and all of Ek Onkar and all of these things. And she said, I was just kind of speechless, She said, I should have gone up to the parents and spoken to them about how this can come about. So this brings us now to the question. A 6-year-old child, where would this 6-year-old child get the inspiration to draw pictures of his heroes? Why would that child not only draw them, he brings that to a Gurdwara. He's carrying it with him all the time. From where he was seated to the tabya, to back to the langar, through the ardas, he's holding it up. It was just, it just consumed, just wonder how we can have a child like that. So now let us ask these questions. Let us ask these questions. Where does a child get the idea to draw pictures of his heroes? Drawing is one thing, carrying it around means that thing is very, very special, very sacred to the child. An art book, and we can only draw one conclusion. This can happen only if there were pictures in the child's house. And at some point in time, as the child was growing up, mom and dad, grandma, granddad would have related, or the child may have asked, who are these? And they would have related something to their child. And here's a 6-year-old child, 6-ish. And that was enough to consume this child. The child is consumed by this experience and now is trying to reproduce those experiences. You could have drawn birds and kites and aeroplanes and tanks and guns and whatever else you could have drawn. What did he draw? He drew pictures of his gurus. Historical, the Sahibzade and other things. I haven't seen the book, and Jaswinder is waiting to meet the family. Probably tomorrow morning she may get a chance. If the family comes again, she has got a ton of questions to ask them. So now this, my next question. See, we all know that the first 7 years of a child's life are very, very critical. Whatever the child receives in the first 7 years of her life is going to stay with that child forever. Child may deviate here and there, you'll come back to it. That is your home base. The first 7 years are most critical. There are many teachers amongst you. You will know that. This is a fact already established. In the first 7 years, what you can do with your child will determine what that child is going to become. Now, can you imagine this child growing up? And this is what the child has become. This is the manifestation of that child has been projected into that book. Do you think this child is going to waver from Sikhi? Do you think there is a possibility that this child is going to waver from Sikhi? Any chance this child is going to waver from Sikhi? And this is exactly the point we are trying to make. I believe that our practice of removing these pictures, especially from the Gurdwara, especially from areas around the Darbar side, has had this impact. The last 30 years, every child that has grown up in the last 30 years, today is practically devoid of any such emotion, any such feeling, any such expression. Very, very few children today. The majority of children are totally far, far away, caught up in their handphones, in their laptops, in social media, in whatever else. This grounding and this foundation is missing. Therefore, I would like to appeal to the Gurdwaras. I would like to humble appeal to the Gurdwaras. Please re-evaluate the situation. Don't listen to me. Don't take anything, whatever that I'm saying. Re-evaluate the situation. ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਚਲੇ ਗਏ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਚਲੇ ਗਏ A little bit of sarcasm here. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਹੈ ਬਾਬਾ ਪੋਂਦੂ ਜੀ ਬਾਬਾ ਪੂਰਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਯਾਦ ਹੈ the people in this group elders usually mostly above 40, a few handful below 40. Baba Puran Singh, Baba Pondu ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਹੈ, he used to know, his pen name was Pondu. He liked to, that was his way of preaching. And he used to say to me, he said, ਮੈਂ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਆਹ ਸਿੱਖੋ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਹ ਸਿੱਖੋ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਹ ਸਿੱਖੋ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ, 2 ਹਫ਼ਤਿਆਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ, ਫਿਰ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ। ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਸਿੱਖੋ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਤੇ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ, ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਉਹ ਸਿੱਖ ਗਏ। ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਗਏ, ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਗਏ, ਹੁਣ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆਉਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਹੱਸਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਉਹ ਸੱਚਮੁੱਚ ਹੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਗਏ, ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਗਏ, ਉਹ ਕਿਸੇ ਕੰਮ ਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਉਹ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਗਏ, ਹੁਣ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਗਏ। ਤੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਹੱਸਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਸੱਚਮੁੱਚ ਹੀ ਉਹ ਸਿੱਖ ਗਏ। ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਅੱਜ ਇਹ ਹਾਲਤ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਵੀ ਨੀਡ ਟੂ ਰੀਇਵੈਲੂਏਟ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਖੜੇ ਹਾਂ, ਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਖੜੇ ਹਾਂ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਣਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਸੋਚਣਾ ਪਏਗਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਸਕਾਲਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਲੱਗ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਪੰਥ ਦੀ ਤਬਾਹੀ ਲੈ ਆਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਸਕਾਲਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਲੱਗ ਕੇ। ਉਹ ਸਕਾਲਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਤੇ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਕਾਲਰਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਬਾਬੇ ਨੇ ਕੋਈ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੱਖੀ ਸਕਾਲਰਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਇੱਥੇ ਤੇ ਸੰਤਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹੈ, ਸਾਧਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹੈ। ਇੱਥੇ ਸਕਾਲਰਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਇੱਥੇ ਸ਼ਰਧਾ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ, ਫੇਥ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ, ਦੀਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਆਈ ਵੁੱਡ ਲਾਈਕ ਟੂ ਮੇਕ ਅ ਅਪੀਲ. This is a first-hand experience that I'm sharing with you. Just happened within hours of posting that video, where a child, the universe presents a child to us to illustrate the importance of visualization, graphics, imagery on the impact on a child. And please remember ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਇਹ ਸਿਰਫ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਰਗੇ ਬੁੱਢਿਆਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਬੱਚਾ 1 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਉਹਦੀ ਮਾਂ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸਰ ਪੈਣਾ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗਰਭ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਗਰਭਵਤੀ ਮਾਤਾ, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਜੇ ਉਹ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਕਰੇਗੀ ਤੇ ਬੱਚਾ ਸਤਸੰਗੀ ਬਣੇਗਾ। ਫਿਰ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਉਸ ਦੀ ਪਾਲਣ ਪੋਸ਼ਣ ਕਰਨੀ 7 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ। ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਐਕਸਪੋਜ਼ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਵੱਡਾ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਕੀ ਬਣੇ, ਉਹ 7 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਏ। ਸੋ that's why I was emphasizing the point. Don't only think that this prachar is only for the older members of our community. No, prachar begins with the children. Prachar begins with the infant. And that's where this is very, very important. Let us do whatever we can. Just painting walls with our takhats and our temples and all, stone buildings is not going to impact our children. Paintings of stone buildings is not going to impact our children. Beautiful gurdwaras and whatever else. No. It is the personalities. It is the characters that created Sikhi, that make Sikhi what it is today. That is what we need to put on our Gurdwara walls. That is what we need. We need to put the heroes up there. We need to put those magnificent men and women up there for our children to see. So, and we can talk about them. And that becomes our consciousness. So that becomes our consciousness. Thank you very much for your time. Sat Sri Akal.